What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Pro Tabletop. This is continuing on to the second part of our tier list series. If you didn't watch the first part, go back and watch it. We started with the Imperium. This one is going to be about Chaos. While you're doing that, hit the subscribe button, turn notifications on, and in the description, you will find a link to create your own tier list. Show us your tier lists. We're going to jump right in this and not waste any more of your time. Like always, I'm joined by Damian and Thomas. Guys, how are you doing today? And what are we doing with Chaos?
Man, we're excited to be here. Chaos. We talked about Imperium in the last video, so we're going to see where does the Chaos rank up with all of this Imperium. Like, look how many factions are Imperium. There's so many. There's not many left after that.
It's true.
All right, so we got Chaos Knights that we're starting off with. I think this is going to be a quick doozy to start off with. Damian's got them down in the D tier. Brad's got them down in the D tier, and Thomas has them unplayable.
Absolutely unplayable. I'll put them in unplayable too. We can switch it. We can go F as far as I'm concerned.
You want them in F?
Put them in F, dude.
So they're worse than Imperial Knights?
Show me a game. No, we can put Imperial Knights down there too. Like, show me a game where those are going to win. Show me a game. Just show me a game.
And we're talking about pure knights at this point, not like
pure
mixed
knights.
factions.
Correct.
Just all knights. I don't know how you win with just all knights.
I don't know how you win.
Okay, so let's save that for the adjustment one. We'll put them in D tier for now because we didn't put Imperial Knights all the way down there yet. Same things. If you didn't watch the Imperium, go back and watch the Imperium. We're not going to fully repeat ourselves. Hard to have bullet board control, hard to kill stuff. Chaos Knights, it's probably even harder because they have less shooting, more close combat. So it is where it is. Knights are just not good, right?
Yeah,
so
they give up secondaries, they struggle. It's just tough.
Yeah.
Knights,
so then we go into Chaos Demons. This one's going to be an interesting talking point. Thomas has Chaos Demons down in D tier. Damian has Chaos Demons in A tier, and I have Chaos Demons in S tier. So this one's interesting.
That's very polarizing right here. Really, we're very on opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yes. So discussing demons, I'm just going to throw them up here as we talk about them, and then we'll see where they end up. I'm going to throw them right here for now so everybody can see where they are. So Chaos Demons, we are not talking about mixed chaos, right? We're not talking about if you take the most OP thing from this, and this. We're talking about if you're playing Chaos Demons. Realistically, in my mind, there are two kind of builds with Chaos Demons that are actually really strong. And this is why I had them up so high. One of those builds, well, almost one of those builds, minus a Magnus, won a tournament the other weekend with a lot of good players in it. The Exalted Demon spam is really good. It's really good. And then you just look at straight up Horde Demons is really good. And that's basically where my argument ends. I don't need to get super into it right now. We can get into it when we fully rate them and stuff. But Exalted Demons, Horde Demons, really good. I think they have options to do a lot.
I'm just going to say Nurglings and leave it there.
Yeah, my biggest kind of why I rated them low was just because they're really suited for tier mixing. And without mixing with other factions to kind of shore up some of their weaknesses, I just don't think they have it all in themselves to do well. There's some interesting builds out there for sure. Everybody has invulnerable saves, but yeah, they just got a lot of counters. And with all demons, I think you're really selling yourself short.
So with what we're seeing and where we're placing stuff here, where do they fit in from where we have gathered stuff right now? Where is your guys'
Let's just
thoughts?
put them in. Let's put them in B.
In B? You think in the back end of B?
Yeah.
Okay, so back end of B, we're going to put them in the middle of the road because...
Do you agree with that, Bert, or do you think that's still too high?
I mean, I think that's fair. I don't like them up there, but...
Let's put them in C then.
But I mean, look at it like
this. But you
this.
got S, so I think that's a hard...
Look what's below them right now, right? Like, are they going to struggle against those? What are they fighting against here?
Yeah.
I think that the Exalted Demon spam list, I think deals with a lot of lists pretty well. Like it's not a throwaway list. Yes, they're better when they're mixed. But let's rate them and we'll see where they end up going. So let's just leave them in the middle of the road for now because they're kind of a contention holder. And then we got Death Guard. So I've got them up in S plus. Thomas has them in S, and Damien has them in A.
A, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna start with them in S as we talk about this. They're super strong, right? I mean, the 5-up spam is ridiculous. Like it's so hard. You have to have so many shots to deal with it. It's just rough. They become stronger when they can mix with demons, yes. But by themselves, they do have a lot of tools. They do have a lot of shooting. They do have a lot of toughness. They do have board control. They have a lot of tools in the shed. They're Space Marines in some fashion, right? Harder to kill in some fashion. That's how I look at them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that durability is really what gave me a little bit of edge. They're super strong and hard to get rid of. Their shooting is not necessarily super strong. It just depends on how you build them. If you get the Plague Bearer or the Plague Marines in, I know we see them going up with the new stuff. So until they get to that, they may adjust them. But that durability is, if you don't have the tools to take those guys out, they're going to sit there and score objectives. They're going to get in your lines and assault you. And vehicles now, they got a big buff so they can shoot into combat. So you can't just turn off some of their vehicles. They can heal. Watching those guys go up, seeing an Epidemius list play, it's kind of obnoxious.
Yep.
Yeah, it's obnoxious.
So do we think S tier fits them, or do we think that they need to be down in A tier?
I think they're A, but that's just...
Yeah, I don't think they're quite there on S. Kind of talking through it, I don't think they can spam some of the bodies, and they're slow, right? And so
where do they fall on the A tier amongst what else we have here so far? Are they?
I'd put them around Space Wolves somewhere. Probably a little bit behind Space Wolves.
So you think behind Space Wolves, but maybe above these other things? Cool. Ship it.
Looks good.
So
Ship it.
Chaos Space Marines. Now, this is an interesting one as well, because Chaos Space Marines are strong. I don't know.
So Damien's got them down in B.
Okay, B.
I have them in A.
And I have them in S.
Did I have them in A? Yeah. Yeah. You have them in S.
I think I did, unless I'm looking. No, I'm looking at the wrong thing.
No, you're in A.
I'm at A. Yep. So A, and B. So they're somewhere in between A and B. Are they better or worse than, other Space Marines, right? And how are they falling in that?
Yeah, it's tricky for Chaos. Again, these guys really want to
they
mix.
want soup.
So you're in a world of mixing is tough. I've tried some mixed lists, and CP starts becoming a real problem.
Mm-hmm.
Without a lot of work. It's surprising. Just a little bit of CP off, and that changes how their list functions. Those guys have some great units, like Obliterators. They have the Noise Marines. They got cheap cultists. They got some good characters. So it's really kind of can you tie it all together into a coherent list?
It's the opposite side of the coin for Space Marines, right? They have all these tools, they can adapt to the meta really well. They have a lot of things to shut off invulnerable. They have a spell to shut off invulnerable saves. They can move around the board. They're quite quick, to be honest. I don't know. There's a lot of things between warp time, between veterans of the Long War. There's a lot of things that make them be able to just bring it down.
So where do you guys where do we want to put them? What are we thinking?
I'd probably say wherever Space Marines are. Yeah, right there. Space Marines.
They're right there with Space Marines, I think. So cool. I think they're in a good space right there.
Cool. So we'll put them there, and then we've got Thousand Suns to wrap this one up as the last one. So Thousand Suns by themselves, I've got them in B. Thomas has them in B, and Damien has them in B. So it seems like we're all in agreement that they are in B. Where they fall within B, I think, is just kind of subject at this point. With what's
probably above Custodes, but
below the others.
They're below the others.
Yeah, I think their psychic powers really puts a hamper on Custodes. That's their one weakness, is they don't want to take all those psychics.
Yeah. So weaker psychics. Rubric Marines are really good, but they don't have a lot of tools if you're not mixing them with stuff, right? They have Rubric Marines and they have Magnus. right?
Yeah.
Like,
And like, sorry, go ahead, Bert.
Yeah, they're strong suits, right? Or they're surprisingly mobile, right? They all have a spell where they can jump around. They all have access to smites. They're pretty durable as far as getting shot at. Those Rubric Marines don't just disappear that easily. They go on invulnerable saves and pluses to their saves, depending on your shooting profile. It's pretty strong, and so they got some great characters. Arma, of course, Magnus. So those guys can do a ton of work, and so they kind of get some of the tools that Chaos Space Marines have, but they're also limited. So they, it's just a little bit less. They have some great matchups, and then they also have some weaker matchups. So I think Pure Thousand Suns is tough.
And if you don't have any Psychers, Abhor the Witch is like a free 15 points for your
Yeah, they give up
opponent.
secondaries like crazy, right? Like it's almost an argument to build your list with no Psychers just so you can make sure you get easy secondary picks against them.
All right, cool. That pretty much does it for Chaos. Thank you, everybody, for watching. This is the second part of the fourth part. Make sure you post in the comments what you guys think about where we play stuff, where you would play stuff. Show us your tier lists, and look forward to seeing you guys next time on the next video. Xenos is coming up next.